All right, kids, today we're talking Fallout.
In Vault 76, our future begins.
Welcome to the Grizzled Geek. I'm Mike, and this is the show where I like to rant, discuss things that either upset me or I'm excited about or just generally have to get off my chest. Instead of talking to myself about it, because my friends don't want to hear it, I talk to the camera, and then hopefully someone out there will like it as well. So today we're going to discuss Fallout 76. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen the E3 coverage, the big announcement. I mean, that's what's all over the internet right now. I know I'm a little behind the times on, my gaming news, but I want to discuss a little bit about it because it was a big, before it came out, before E3, the big, announcement about it being online. Was it going to be multiplayer? Is it going to be, is this going to suck? What's going to happen? No more mods. What's the deal? So before I get into that, let me give you a little bit of backstory about me and Fallout. I've played every iteration of the Fallout game. I've loved this game, this franchise since the very beginning. I even like Fallout Tactics. So even though they didn't really, further the mythology of the world any, but I played it. I liked it. I own it. My son still plays the early Fallout games. So Fallout 3, while it was a vast change to the way the game was played, I actually enjoyed it, and I thought there's a lot more options in there than what people would have you believe when they say it's a railroaded game. I like it. I liked Fallout 3. It was great. Fallout New Vegas I liked even better, although the map was a little small for me. I would like it had more. And then Fallout 4, I really enjoy. I still play Fallout 4 right now, so every once in a while I'll hop on. I've played it through so many times. I just love the world of Fallout, but part of what I love about the world of Fallout, I have a feeling we're not going to get in 76. And 76 is going to be, it's a different game. Now, is it as big a change as 3 was to the early games? I don't know. Probably not that drastic of a change, but are the changes going to be enough to, change my opinion about the world or whatever? I'm going to like it as much. I don't know. We'll find out. First, let's talk about what we know. All right, so E3 happened. Todd Howard got there, told us that it is a huge game, 4 times larger than Fallout 4.
Fallout 76 is a prequel to all the other games, and it's our biggest one yet. It is 4 times the size of Fallout 4.
Which is huge. I mean, it's a huge map. He told us that it's going to be entirely online. So, but it's not going to be an MMO. It's not going to be like thousands of people out there. It's only going to be dozens, and that you could build anywhere, you can craft anywhere. You have your little camp, your portable site. You can move it around.
What separates man from beast? It is his desire to build. Get started with camps. The construction and assembly mobile platform. Construct your home of the future.
But there's PvP out in the world. You can interact with other players, kill them. Even like towards end game stuff, there's nukes. You can get nuclear codes and like nuke the map. And it sounds, one, it kind of sounds like a lot of fun, but 2, there's some worrying things in there. And then after the big announcement and E3, everyone's super excited, and with that, NWK rock and roll intro, which was a little weird, but I mean, I liked it, but I like rock and roll. The whole E3 thing the Bethesda one was kind of weird. But Fallout 76 is what everyone was there for, and everyone seemed pretty excited about it. But then they had a few interviews. The new documentary came out. The one specific part about 76 came out afterwards. Todd Howard came out and did some interviews. They did some other interviews. So more and more stuff is leaking. about the game. So here's what we know so far. It's going to be capped out. Each instance that you log in is going to be capped out at about 24 people. So 24 people, players in a map the size 4 times larger than Fallout 4. So you're not going to run into, you're not tripping over people. There's not a ton of people out there, but there's going to be enough to interact with. It is in fact going to be multiplayer. It's going to be online. They talked about some of the game mechanics where it's kind of a survival mode in that your weapons degrade and you have to eat and drink. They talked a little bit about the crafting system, how you're going to have to craft stuff. So like you have to eat and drink, but you can get really good at crafting, food. So you can build food or cook food that lasts longer, gives you stat bonuses and that kind of thing. And then you can craft food and you can sell it to other players and whatnot. Mutations, which is really something I thought was really awesome. So it's still got your radiation health level, but now if you get too much radiation, you can get a mutation. It could be physical, it could be whatever. They could be like almost kind of like weird perks, have a bonus and a negative. And I like the idea. Yeah, I mean you can heal those, of course. So if you don't like them, you can get rid of it. But I like the idea of mutations. So this is like fresh, because the setting is fresh. Right after the bombs, 25 years, there's more ambient radiation out there. But it's also West Virginia, which wasn't a direct hit. It wasn't directly hit anywhere. No one's nuking West Virginia. So that's why the map, what you've seen in the gameplay so far is greener, But, they're not talking about like the perk cards, how you're going to be able to level up, you got perks, but you can only slot so many like perk cards at a time. So if you go into a combat situation, you want to slot out your combat perks or whatever, that kind of thing. So you can only access so many at a time. They said there's going to be VATS, but it's going to be real time. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work in, a PvP environment. Now they did say you can play solo. You can play solo. There's quests, obviously, and you go out in the world, because that's what Fallout game is. Fallout game is you discovering the world, meeting all these cool NPCs, going on these quests, making decisions that affect the way things play, and all the quirky little fun stuff that's involved in a Fallout game. However, this is where my issue comes, right? And the big question is whether this is going to suck or not. And it all comes down to, whether or not you're into PvP, right? Because this is a PvP game. There is no way there's not. I mean, even in the footage they showed at E3 of the gameplay, had another player coming in and killing, shooting at you out of the blue. The biggest problem for me is not the fact that it's PvP entirely. I mean, that's got me worried somewhat. But the fact that there's no other humans out there other than the 24 or so people, other players. Every other human in the game is another player character. So part of the joy of the Fallout world is the NPCs that you run into, right? The companions, the quest givers, just the random people in the world. Now, it makes sense. You guys are the first ones out of the vault, so there's nobody else out there other than there's ghouls and robots out there. So I guess that's how you're going to get your quests, through them, I guess, or just stumble upon stuff. But I think that's going to take something away from the game, right? I mean, what is a solo experience without that? I mean, you run and talk to some ghouls and some robots and fight monsters, right? And then worry about getting sniped by other players. So, I don't know. It just doesn't feel the solo experience. And they even said, like, yeah, you can solo if you want, but you're better off, or, it'd be better for you, or you have a better chance of survival if you group up, and play with your friends. But, let's discuss the PvP aspect now. We danced around a little bit here. Now, I'm not against PvP, right? I like PvP. Back in the day, back when, early WoW days, you're not really playing WoW unless you're playing on a PvP server. That was my opinion. And then, expansions came out and all my cool raid gear was no longer any good and I had to rebuild. And then my guild fell apart and, we didn't do raids anymore and I got left behind. And all of a sudden, wow, now I'm just trying to adventure through here and I'm getting ganked by high-level board players. You know. So while I do enjoy PvP from time to time, I can understand where someone who maybe, you know, has a little more social anxiety or doesn't like teaming up with other players, doesn't have a whole lot of friends to hang out with and play this game with. Or like in my situation, I have a lot of friends that love Fallout, but a whole bunch of them were like, multiplayer online, forget that, I'm not interested. So I might be playing this by myself for to find new friends. That's a scary thought for, you know, Geek. To go talk to people. But it's online, so I guess it's okay. But yeah, I mean, what happens when there's a gang of people that want to play like raiders and go around sniping other player? What if they team up? There's like a gang of them, right? I guess technically you can log out of the game and log back in, and then you get another random 24 players that you're playing with, and all your stuff is supposed to go with you. So if you have settlements, stuff like that, but you build stuff, and other players can go wreck it or nuke it. You know, I mean, later on at high levels. That is the big worry. You know, like what happens? Is there any kind of built-in mechanism to stop? I mean, what if a gang of like, you know, actually team up in a group of 4? What if, you know, 4 really good PvP players team up and decide they want to be like raiders and go attack other settlements? And they even talked about in the documentary, one of the developers was talking about like, you know, what if you're in the middle of a monster fight and then all of a sudden somebody kites in a bunch of, you know, Yagwai that join the battle?
Super mutants are attacking, you know, Aunt Mabel's farm. So you'll go over and to protect from super mutants, and you don't know, like, will 10 other Yagwais come running in at the same time because someone trained them in from across the mountain?
You know, what happens then? So apparently you can kite monsters in this game, which, you know, if anyone who played early, you know, played EverQuest or, you know, early WoW and stuff like that, know how, you know, kiting monsters can just screw your day, you know, board players doing weird stuff. So there's always that worry. Now, there might be mechanisms in place to solve this, but there hasn't been those reassurances, right? Because this is still, you know, the beta's not even up yet. So what does it look like? We don't know. We know that there's going to be PvP. We don't, you know, what, you know, like casual gamers like, you know, like me, I don't have time to devote, you know, a full week to a new game. But there are people that do. And if they go out there and they level up their character, are they going to, when you log in, do you get logged in with comparable level people? I don't know. It would suck to be trying to start off and just trying to quest and a bunch of high level guys come gank you. I don't know. It's that these are the questions, you know? I mean, everything I hear about the game mechanics and everything else sound cool. The whole concept of an online, like I always thought a Fallout MMO would be awesome, right? This is about as close to Fallout MMO as we're going to get, seems like. But in an MMO, you can choose not to be on a PvP server, you know? And just have PvP on the side if you want it. Be able to switch it on and off. Maybe you know, maybe there's a way to flag yourself for PvP or whatever. Or turn it off if you just want an adventure. I don't know. There's no word on anything like that. It doesn't sound like there's going to be anything like that. So if you're not into PvP, if you're not into that, then, you know, this might not be the game for you, which is sad because Fallout is a great game. But there's light at the end of the tunnel. There was, in some of these interviews, they said that rolling out probably early next year after the game launches, not during launch, but soon after, we're going to get stuff like mods. They're going to bring in mods and private worlds. So if you want to permanently build stuff and mod stuff up, and with the private world, it may seem a little empty without, you know, the other PCs that are on there after that, but that'll give you a chance to build what you want, play through the adventures, I guess. You know, use mods to help things out. You know, I mean, that's coming. So if you are absolutely terrified or you try it out and you don't like the PvP aspect of it, then, you know, wait a little bit and there might be, you know, another release that fixes that, you know, the private worlds and the modding and all that stuff. Other than that, I'm going to play this game. Let's be honest here. This has got my money. It's got Fallout. They put Fallout name on it. I'm going to buy it and play it. So, You know, I don't know. I just said I'm concerned. I was concerned when I first heard about 76, and then now that I got a bunch of stuff confirmed, I'm like, not sure if this is going to be for me or not, but I'm going to try it out. I mean, it looks like it can be a lot of fun. I don't think they'll release a game that would just, you know, have a bunch of like ace players, you know, nerf the entire thing for you. People aren't going to like that experience. They're not going to make money. They're not going to be returned on this if they let that kind of thing happen. So, you know, I don't. Hopefully, there are mechanisms in place. I'm getting early access. I'm going to get sign up for the pre-order, get the beta. As soon as the beta happens, you know, I'm definitely going to check that out, see how it works. I'll report back to you guys on that in a later video. And when it does finally hit, we're gonna get a group of these guys and make them run with me, and maybe we'll do a playthrough, a live stream playthrough, or a videotape us playing through. Give you an update on what it's like. I'm sure I won't be the only one. There'll be, you know, hundreds of YouTubers doing the same thing. But hey, if you like to see that kind of thing, I'll run that through. So, but there it is. What do you guys think of Fallout 76? Are you guys excited for it? You think the change is good? Are you a PvP player? Are you a little worried about the PvP aspect of it, or the survival aspect of it, or any other aspect of it? Or you're like, the hell with that, Elder Scrolls is coming out, so we're going to check. I'm waiting for that. Whatever you're into, let me know in the comments down below, and thank you for watching the video and listening to me rant about this kind of thing, express my concerns. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends about us, and then if you want to help out the channel, you can hit those links down below to support us through Patreon, our Amazon affiliate link, and our t-shirt store. So we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.